Archangel Michael strictly warn you, don't tell anyone. It's only for you. This is happening in your house tonight, and you're about to fall asleep, because you took Archangel Michael says, tonight is not like any other night. Maybe your eyelids feel heavy, and you're being pulled towards sleep more strongly than usual. But that's not just regular exhaustion. Something hidden nearby is influencing it. You might think it's only the medicine you had earlier, along with that herbal tea you took to calm your nerves. But a force is moving silently in your home, just waiting for you to drift off completely. It's crucial that you don't ignore this message, because the moment your eyes close, everything will begin. Archangel Michael says, you were not supposed to find this message, yet you were divinely guided to it. There's a reason this warning is reaching you right now, before 1 o'clock in the morning. You've been marked, not in a bad way, but as a vessel of light, and that light is attracting attention from forces on both sides. A visitor is coming into your space tonight. It's not physical, no. It's energetic, spiritual, and calculated. This presence wants to uncover something deeply connected to your bloodline, and it will happen the second your body gives in to rest. Keep reading, because your safety depends on it. Maybe you've noticed your dreams have been more vivid lately. Perhaps there have been strange images, or whispering voices, or symbols that didn't make sense at first. These aren't just coincidences. They are early signals from your subconscious mind, trying to make sense of the energy that's getting into your environment. Someone who used to live in this home, someone involved in past spiritual practices, left behind a powerful trace. It doesn't always get activated, but tonight, a certain combination of events triggered it. Your thoughts, your emotions, and yes, the substance you took before going to bed. This energy needs you to be asleep to finish its work. It can't act while you're awake. That's why your fatigue tonight feels unnatural. It's almost like you've been drugged or spiritually silenced. You've felt the shift, haven't you? That sudden coldness, the lights flickering, the heavy quietness in certain areas of your home. It's been slowly setting up the environment to carry out what will happen while you sleep. Tonight is the peak. This warning isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. You've been watched for a few nights now. This energy doesn't want to destroy you. It wants to access a spiritual key that you unknowingly carry inside you, a key that can open hidden dimensions. That's why it's waiting for you to sleep, to surrender, for silence. Archangel Michael says you have a divine shield over you, but you need to activate it by staying alert. You cannot fall asleep under this influence tonight, not until the energy passes. It will come between 2:17 a.m. and 3:07 a.m. That's when your soul is most vulnerable. There will be whispers. Don't follow them. A name might be repeated in your dreams. Don't say it aloud. You might even see someone from your past reaching out. Don't touch their hand in the dream. You are being tested, and your house is the battleground. Let me explain why this is personal. 6 days ago, someone mentioned you in a conversation they really shouldn't have had. A spiritual gatekeeper overheard it and traced the energy signature of your name. That gatekeeper isn't limited by time or space, and it traveled right to your home. It marked your walls, your mirrors, and the corner of your bedroom ceiling you never look at. You've already seen the signs, but you dismissed them. That faint smell of burning herbs, that wasn't your neighbor. That sudden creaking at 400 a.m. when everyone was asleep, those weren't the pipes. That black shadow that flickered on your doorframe, it wasn't your imagination. Now it waits, and the moment you fall asleep, it will enter your spiritual field and try to unlock something ancient, something that was sealed generations ago to protect your family. You must not let this happen. Everything I have covered across this channel is now in one place. The prayers, the teachings, the daily blessings, it is all inside the Daily Miracle Manual. Link in the description. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site, you are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give, and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today, join our community, and see what God brings back into your life. There's one thing you need to do tonight. Put a glass of water near your bed with a pinch of salt in it. This will absorb spiritual interference. Keep a light on, preferably a white light. Not a candle, not fire. Fire attracts, but light repels. Don't open your front door after 12:30 a.m. Don't answer any knocks, even if it sounds like someone you trust, especially if it sounds like someone you trust. That's the trick. That's how it gets permission. You're not alone in your house tonight, not in the way you think. This isn't just a warning, it's a spiritual lockdown. Someone in your family line made a deal with a higher realm to protect you. That protection only activates if you follow these instructions. If you ignore this message, your dreams tonight will be taken over. You'll wake up confused, drained, and with energy that doesn't feel like your own. Archangel Michael says you were chosen for this moment. You were never meant to be ordinary. This event tonight is a rite of passage, a spiritual initiation you didn't expect, but were destined to face. Stay awake until at least 3:45 a.m. After that, the energy will start to go away. You might feel a wave of relief or a sharp emotional release, like tears or sudden laughter. Let it flow. That's the cleansing. The substance you took earlier was ordinary, but the energy that attached to you afterward was not. You were spiritually scanned. Something decided you were a key, and tonight is the attempt to unlock it. If you make it through this night while staying conscious, your intuition will become 5 times more powerful. You'll start hearing whispers of truth in silence. People's faces will glow differently to you. You'll see people for who they really are clearly. This energy will return after tonight. If you stay awake and follow the instructions, it will fail its mission and be forced to move on. But if you fall asleep unaware, it might succeed in taking something from you that isn't easily returned, a fragment of your light. You are sacred. You are powerful. You are under divine surveillance tonight. Silence your phone, no distractions. Don't speak any names aloud. Sit in peace and be watchful. Tonight is about remembrance. Something long forgotten about you will try to resurface. Your soul knows more than your memory. Protect that wisdom. You must not speak about this message, not to family, not to friends, not even in vague hints. Spiritual security relies on silence tonight. This message was meant only for you. And if you do as instructed, by tomorrow morning, your home will feel lighter, your mind will feel clearer, and your spirit will feel reclaimed. This is your moment. Archangel Michael says, do not delay. This moment is already unfolding. Your awareness is your sword. Your silence is your shield. Your decision tonight changes the course of what enters your future. May peace cover your walls. May light defend your doorway. May strength fill your breath. Hold on. Stay aware. You are not falling apart. You are falling into alignment. Archangel Michael says, the spirit that arrives tonight knows how to mimic comfort. It might show up as a calm voice, a familiar dream, or a feeling of peace. But behind that illusion is a spiritual theft. It seeks to lower your defenses with false light. But that light isn't divine. It's a distraction. Stay rooted in awareness. You might feel your limbs grow heavy or your thoughts become cloudy. That's how it tries to convince you it's safe to slip away into sleep. But tonight, you must resist. Look for patterns. If the same phrase repeats in your mind or a specific image loops over and over, that's your signal. That's how energy invades your subconscious, and once it breaks in, it doesn't knock, it takes. A specific object in your room might be acting as a beacon, maybe a mirror, an heirloom, or even a gift someone gave you recently. The entity connects through familiarity. Walk through your space. Feel what vibrates wrong. Trust your gut without question. Archangel Michael says, there's a name it will whisper. You've heard that name before, maybe in childhood or a recent dream. Don't say it. Saying it aloud is how it gains permission to enter deeper. Keep your mouth sealed and your spirit grounded. Your home is sacred ground tonight, but you must treat it that way. Speak affirmations of protection softly if needed, but don't call anyone. Don't seek advice. This is your battle and yours alone. You might even hear sounds, creaks, knocks, breathing that isn't yours. Don't investigate. Don't engage. Ignore the temptation. Any response you give feeds it attention, and attention is fuel. Now listen. This is vital. You aren't being attacked. You're being selected for spiritual authority. The complete guide, every daily prayer, every spiritual tool, everything I've put together to help you grow your faith is down in the description. It's called the Daily Miracle Manual. Now, stay right here with me, because as this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history, it is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. This presence sees your potential, your awakening gifts, and it knows what will be born in you if you cross this threshold. That's what it fears. That's why it wants you unconscious, because when your gifts rise, you become untouchable. You may feel a vibration on your skin around 10:50 a.m. It might feel like static or tingling near your crown or spine. That's your inner system waking up, your spiritual sensors trying to protect you. Don't panic. Let it pass. That's your light fighting back. Don't sleep in total darkness tonight. A dim light in the corner is enough. Darkness is its veil, light exposes it. Even your phone flashlight placed beside your pillow can be enough. And if you start to feel emotions that aren't yours, rage, sadness, jealousy, that's not your mind. That's the entity probing your emotional field for a weak point. Don't own those emotions. Observe them. Let them go. That's how you disarm the energy. Archangel Michael says, many in your bloodline faced this same test, but few passed it consciously. That's why patterns keep repeating in your family. You have the power to break it tonight. You may not realize it, but a specific woman in your ancestry called upon divine forces 20 years ago to protect the strongest descendant. That call reached the heavens, and now here you are, facing the very gate she sealed. The substance you took tonight, whether medicine, tea, or something else, acted as an unintentional unlock. It softened your mental walls. That's why this entity chose tonight in you. It planned. But what it didn't expect was that you'd find this message in time. And now you're not just aware, you're ready. You don't need to perform rituals. You don't need complex chants. All you need is truth. Speak it quietly to yourself. No energy has permission to enter my field. My life belongs to me. My spirit is protected. My sleep is sealed with divine fire. Keep saying it if your body starts to feel heavy. If you notice a shadow move, not with your eyes but in your mind, don't panic. That means the entity has sensed your resistance. It's trying to intimidate you, but you are shielded now. It cannot cross without your submission, and you will not submit. Tonight isn't just about survival, tonight is about inhibition. By the time the sun rises, your spiritual status will change. The energy will try once more around 3:10 a.m. to whisper your name. You might hear it faintly, as if someone is saying it from the hallway. Don't respond, don't turn toward the sound. That final whisper is the test. If you pass it, the entity must return to its origin and cannot try again. That's why this moment matters so much. You've been prepared for this through every hardship, every strange night, every intuitive tug. All of it led here. You are no longer blind. You are no longer asleep. When the sky begins to pale and the air shifts, the heaviness will leave your body and peace will return to the corners of your home. You'll feel proud and exhausted, but you will have made it. You are not who you were before this message. You are awakened. Archangel Michael says this message was sent in secret because only you were meant to receive it. Don't speak of it casually. Don't share it with anyone unless you feel a divine nudge. Let it settle in your soul first. Let your light recalibrate, because after tonight, everything changes. Your intuition will sharpen. Your awareness will deepen, and most of all, the repeating patterns of energetic invasion in your family line will break. It ends with you. Archangel Michael says there's nothing to fear when you stand in truth, and you've done that simply by reading this far. That alone was an act of spiritual rebellion against darkness. Stay vigilant, stay sacred, stay sovereign, and know that heaven watches closely tonight, not to rescue you, but to witness you rise. You weren't supposed to sleep tonight. You were meant to awaken. Archangel Michael says there is a sound that may come soft, subtle, like a knock or a whispered sigh. It will come when you're most tired, right before your head begins to lean and your eyes begin to flutter. That's not exhaustion, it's a signal, and you must not respond to it. You're being watched, not just from the physical plane, but from a dimension layered closely to yours. And right now, that veil is thin enough for energies to slip through, but only if you're unaware. Tonight's message is your shield, and your awareness is your sword. There's a reason the Force wants you silent, asleep, and unaware. Your spirit holds knowledge, ancestral codes, divine frequencies, and sacred memory. If this presence gains access while you sleep, it will copy what it needs to manipulate future timelines. This was its goal. It's not just a nightmare you're avoiding, it's the redirection of your entire path. They've tried this with 10 others before you, but no one carried the light you hold. If you want the full guide with every prayer and lesson I've compiled for this community, check the description for the Daily Miracle Manual. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall, share your heart, and as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now, join the family, and see your heavens open. No one had your awakening. No one was this close to unlocking their divine power. The entity chose this moment because you are on the edge of something great. And if it can delay you, confuse you, or extract just a fragment of your clarity. It can slow your destiny. That's what it wants, not to destroy you, but to delay you. Delay is the enemy of purpose. You must not fall for it. If you hear your name spoken in a dream, don't answer it. If you see someone calling you into another room, don't go. If a voice tells you something beautiful, like a secret, a blessing, or a wish come true, don't believe it. Those illusions are bait. The moment you engage, you give consent. And that's what it's truly after consent. Energy cannot possess you without it. And you've been too protected, too covered in divine light. So now it must trick you, pretend to be peace, pretend to be comfort, pretend to be someone you love. Even an image of a lost loved one may appear tonight, but it won't be them. It will be a mimic, a counterfeit, a spirit wearing their voice, their shape, their energy. And it will say exactly what your heart aches to hear. Be strong enough to walk away. No reward is worth losing your essence. You're not being punished, you're being elevated. And elevation always comes with confrontation. This is that moment. And the battleground is your room, your rest, your silence. If your pets act differently tonight, staring at a corner, growling at nothing, refusing to settle, that's your extra confirmation. Animals sense what eyes can't. If they grow restless, it means the energy is present. Don't scold them. Observe what they see. Your entire body is a temple tonight. Anything you drink or eat from this moment forward must be clean. No more substitutes, no more sweets. Keep your vessel pure. This allows your frequency to stay high and hard to touch. And if you feel pressure on your chest while lying down, get up immediately. That's not just sleep paralysis, it's the energy trying to hover, to pin you down, to start entering your auric layers. Stand up, breathe deeply. Speak the following: you are not welcome. I command you to leave. This is holy ground. Even whispering it is enough. You are not powerless. You never were. This energy is ancient. It's encountered souls like yours before, souls with awakening light, ready to rise, ready to claim sacred purpose. It always arrives when a person is about to shift dimensions, when a person is about to break curses, when a person is about to remember who they really are. You're not reading this by chance. You are remembering. Archangel Michael says once this night passes, your visions will sharpen. People's hidden intentions will become clearer. You'll feel things before they happen, and you'll know what to avoid without explanation. Your intuition will lead you like a map. But to access that realm, you must complete tonight's initiation. This entity is not your enemy, it is your test. If you stand your ground, it loses power. If you remain awake, aware, and sovereign, it cannot touch you. If you finish this night, you walk into a season where spiritual blessings will flood your life. They were already on the way, but this was the final blockade. Everything you've been manifesting, praying for, crying for, it was being held back by this energetic interference. The moment you survive this attack, the floodgates open. Your hands will receive what was delayed, because heaven rewards those who endure. Don't check your reflection too long tonight. If you do look into a mirror, look quickly and walk away. Sometimes energy uses reflective surfaces to study you, mimic you, or send frequencies. Avoid that route. Let your face rest in shadow and privacy tonight. And remember, don't answer any knocking. Don't walk toward any voices. Don't fall into sleep before 3:45 a.m. This is sacred. This is only for you. You will wake up tomorrow and feel lighter, more whole. You'll feel like a veil has been lifted because it will have been. Your space will be yours again. Your sleep will return peacefully. Your mind will be sharp again. But only if you don't fall into the trap tonight. They only get one try. And you were never meant to lose this battle. Archangel Michael says, close your eyes, but only when you feel victory, not defeat. Speak protection not out of fear, but out of authority. Sit in silence, but not in weakness, in watchfulness. This is the moment you will one day look back on and say, that night changed everything. It's already changing right now. Let no distraction break your focus. Let no voice convince you to give in. You were born to walk through this fire, and you were built to come out with gold. The shadows don't win when you shine, and tonight your light blinds them. Archangel Michael says, you are being watched, but not by danger alone. Divine forces stand by, silent but powerful, just outside your field of vision. They are ready, but they cannot interfere unless you choose awareness. That is the sacred law of free will. You aren't just being warned, you are being called into authority. This isn't about fear, this is about awakening. And when this night ends, you won't be the same version of yourself that entered it. Pay close attention to the air. If it thickens, becomes still, or unusually warm without cause, know this, the presence is near. It lingers at the doorway of your spiritual realm. Think of it as your energetic door, not your physical one. You must not allow entry. Earlier this week, you might have felt strange, forgetful, disoriented, or emotional for no reason. It wasn't random. That was your spirit bracing for tonight. You've been feeling the shift before it even arrived. Something within you already knows what's coming. That's why you're here reading this, refusing to look away. Tonight is spiritual chess. Every move counts. Your stillness counts. Your silence counts. Even choosing not to tell anyone about this message is part of your victory. They must never know, not because they are your enemy, but because this message will lose its divine encoding once spoken aloud in a casual tone. This isn't for sharing, it's for shielding. Do you feel that sensation behind your ears, that quiet ring or hum, that spiritual frequency rising? Your soul is stretching itself wide, opening ears you haven't used since childhood. You'll hear more tonight than you've heard in years, because heaven is broadcasting. Don't confuse that broadcast with the mimicking echoes of the shadow. One speaks peace even in warning, the other tempts through comfort. Know the difference. Feel it in your breath. One expands you, the other cages you. Stay expanded. Archangel Michael says, there is a line of protection running through your bloodline, but only one in every 4 generations is able to activate it fully. You are that one. That's why they fear you. That's why they want you unaware, asleep, silenced. They fear the sound of your awakening. If you survive this night without surrendering, not only will you clear the space around you, but your entire household will benefit. Others who sleep in nearby rooms, unaware of what you carry, will be spared by your obedience. You're not just protecting yourself, you're protecting your legacy. This is bigger than it appears. And when you rise in the morning, something strange might happen. You may receive a message, a sudden call, or an unexpected visit from someone who hasn't reached out in a long time. Don't be fooled. That may be the shadow's final test, a human disguise. You must discern, feel the vibration. Listen more to what's not said than what is. If you sense something off, you're right. Trust that. Your spiritual senses will be sharpest right after this night. That's when interference tries to appear sweet. Be gentle, but guarded. Archangel Michael says, you are not crazy. You are not imagining any of this. You are spiritually sensitive, divinely connected, and now fully activated. You've seen the signs, the flickers, the silence, the sleepiness that didn't feel like normal fatigue. Even the timing of when you found this message was perfect. You weren't late, you were early. You were chosen. There's a very real reason this had to reach you before midnight. Once the hour passes, your decision will be sealed. So, let this be your final instruction. Keep stillness near. Keep distractions far. Speak only to your spirit tonight. No television. No meaningless noise. No sudden decisions. Just presence, breath, and truth. Say this as your final protection tonight, if needed. No shadow can live in the house of light. I am the gate. I am sealed. I am sovereign. Then wait. Watch it. Witness what doesn't happen because of you. You stopped something ancient. You passed the test. You became who you were always meant to be. And when dawn comes, even if nothing seems different, know this: everything has changed. You will begin to walk differently in the world. Doors that were stuck will open. People will speak your name with awe, confusion, and even fear, not because of you, but because of what you now carry, divine power. Awaken. Archangel Michael says this message is now complete. What you do with it will define how the next 50 hours unfold. Keep it close, keep it sacred. Let no one steal this shift from you. Archangel Michael says as the night deepens, the shadows will grow bolder, not in size, but in subtlety. You may feel nothing at all and think the threat has passed, but don't be deceived. It's the final trick, false stillness before the real storm. It will try to convince you to relax. It will whisper safety into your mind. But you must remain guarded until the window closes, until after 3:45 am has safely passed. Until then, the test is not over. You've done well by not falling asleep already. You've already weakened the energy's script simply by choosing to stay present. But understand, your spiritual field is still wide open from what you consumed earlier. That's why even now, it's circling, probing, searching. It's looking for a crack, so keep your posture strong. Whether you sit or lie still, keep your chest open, your arms unfolded. Don't sleep with your head to the north. Tonight, align eastward if you can. Your ancestors followed energy directions for a reason. This alignment helps you receive support while you remain alert. The old energy doesn't want your body, it wants your light signature. And you only have one. Yours is unique. It contains keys that were forged through your struggles, your survival, your tears. Those keys can't be duplicated, but they can be stolen through spiritual trickery if you're unaware. That's why you've been targeted. That's why it's this night, this moment, because the energetic imprint you left during a recent emotional breakthrough was strong enough to send a signal through realms. They saw your light pulse, and they followed it. But they didn't expect you to be warned. They didn't expect you to fight. You are already winning. Archangel Michael says the test tonight was never about whether you're brave. It's about whether you're awake, conscious, present, still enough to hear the difference between truth and imitation. And because of that awareness, you are shifting. Even now, forces you cannot see are backing away. They can sense your decision has been made. You are not giving consent. You are not going quietly into sleep. You are not surrendering your field. You are sovereign. Tomorrow morning, something beautiful may happen. The atmosphere in your room will feel different, lighter, freer, almost refreshed. This is because what tried to enter couldn't stay, and in its place, your own divine resonance will reclaim the space. The shadows will retreat. The mirrors will lose their tension. The silence will hum with peace instead of weight. But don't speak too soon. You must complete the cycle. From this moment until the light breaks, remain in a state of silent vigilance, not fear, just quiet power. And then, when the time is right, you will sleep, not from exhaustion, but from completion, a sacred, restful sleep, the kind that heals timelines. Your energy will no longer be scattered. Your aura will no longer be thin. Your path will no longer be blocked. Archangel Michael says, tonight was your moment of birth spiritually. You are now among the few who stood at the edge of darkness and didn't fall, who stayed awake when everything tried to seduce them into unconsciousness. You've made a declaration in the spirit world that cannot be erased. The gatekeeper heard you, the energy heard you, heaven heard you, and they've stepped back in respect. But remember this, don't celebrate yet. Not aloud, not online. Don't post, share, or whisper about what you've experienced. The spiritual world honors silence in the sacred war. Let the power settle into your bones. Let the stillness finish its message. Only after the third sunrise from tonight should you speak of what happened. By then, the shift will have solidified, and no interference will attach to your words. Until then, guard this night like treasure, because it was. Archangel Michael says you now carry a signature that other awakened souls will recognize. You will attract conversations that feel familiar. Strangers will speak to you with a strange familiarity. Pay attention. These are divine connections emerging. And beware, some old relationships may suddenly feel uncomfortable. That's not a loss, it's alignment. What can no longer reach your frequency will naturally fall away. Let it. Your elevation is not for everyone to understand. Tonight will become a silent story etched in your spirit, a secret you share only with the divine. You passed a test many never knew they were taking. You broke a cycle older than your name, and now the light belongs to you again. Undaunted, unbothered, unshakable, you did it. Let peace rise in your chest. Let protection flood your space. Let your soul know you are safe. And when you finally rest, you'll sleep like royalty, because you just claimed your throne. Archangel Michael says, you've crossed a silent threshold. The unseen battle is nearly over. And although the air around you may still feel dense, that's only because your aura is adjusting to its expanded state. The spiritual current you stepped into tonight was no small current. It was a river of ancestral power, of hidden warnings, and of divine inheritance. You didn't just survive it. You awakened something sacred that had been asleep inside you for 10 years, maybe even lifetimes. Your soul now holds a spiritual scent, one that can no longer be mistaken for vulnerability. One that higher entities and even lower energies will smell and recognize immediately. This one knows. And when they know, you know they leave. Your home will begin purging all lingering energy in the next 75 hours. You might notice strong urges to clean, to move objects, to throw away certain items. Listen to those nudges. They are spiritual instructions. That pair of shoes you've kept for years, but never wear, they carry stagnant memory. That book you were gifted but never opened, it carries a presence. The decorative piece you've always found odd, it holds an energy cord. Move them. Replace them with new things. The night's work didn't just shield you. It activated clarity. And now that clarity will begin guiding you like a compass. Don't resist it. Don't second guess it. You're no longer who you were before this night. Your eyes may look the same in the mirror, but their depth has changed. You'll start noticing details in people's expressions, in their tone, in their eyes. And for the first time, you won't pretend not to notice. You'll trust it. You'll act on it. Archangel Michael says your house will become a fortress of light now. No energy, no matter how clever or cloaked, will find it easy to enter again. But understand this, just because you passed this test doesn't mean others won't try again. They will. But the difference is now you'll see them coming. You've grown quiet powers, and your quiet powers are the loudest in the spirit realm. This is your emergence. The night of silence gave birth to your thunder. From this point forward, you will dream in symbols that actually make sense. You will walk into rooms and feel energy before you speak. You will think of someone and receive a message from them within 6 hours. You are no longer walking blind. You are being guided by the light you earned through endurance. Archangel Michael says you will begin receiving sacred assignments, maybe through random conversations, maybe through unusual opportunities, maybe through sudden urges to speak truth when silence used to be your habit. And when that moment comes, don't resist it. That's your gift speaking. That's your awakening voice stretching itself for the first time. It won't always be easy, but it will always be accurate. And while others sleepwalk through life, you will now walk with divine sight. While others fall into traps of distraction, you will stay focused. While others ignore spiritual signs, you will decode them. You are no longer part of the asleep. You are among the awakened guardians. There are few of you, but your presence shifts the world. And yes, your enemies will sense this change. They won't know what it is, but they'll feel different around you. Some may distance themselves. Let them. Their season in your story has ended. Others may become suddenly jealous, competitive, confused. Don't absorb it. Don't explain yourself. Just keep walking. Keep glowing. Keep guarding your light. You are now responsible for what you carry. Tonight wasn't just survival, it was activation. Archangel Michael says this energy has now been sealed. The presence that waited outside your field has moved on, defeated. It cannot return. Its window closed. Its access denied, and you are marked with light. Your sleep tonight, when it finally comes, will be the most peaceful rest you've had in 8 months, maybe even years. Because nothing lingered, because nothing uninvited remains. You rest, child of light, you've done the work, you walked through the dark, and now you walk in power. Archangel Michael says, as the dawn begins to rise, so will the truth of who you really are. The quiet victory you just earned will echo through the dimensions long after this night ends. You may not see the ripple, but you'll feel it in every step you take from this moment on. You didn't just survive a spiritual ambush, you transformed it into an awakening. And that makes you powerful in a way very few will understand. But that's the beauty of it. This wasn't for them. This was always between you, God, and the light you were destined to carry. The unseen forces you resisted tonight were part of a cycle meant to delay your elevation. Others before you fell to it, not from weakness, but from not being warned in time. But you were warned, you listened. And now you've broken that cycle, not just for yourself, but for those coming after you. Your children, their children, even the unborn souls tied to your energy, they are all safer because you stood tall tonight. That silence you feel now, that's not emptiness. That is clear space. That is peace arriving after battle. You may feel like crying. Let the tears fall. That's how your soul exhales. Let the body weep if it must. Every tear is a sign of release, of energy that was never yours finally leaving your field. You did not miss your calling. You did not come to this message late. You arrived at the exact second destiny needed you to. Archangel Michael says, you have now inherited something precious, spiritual authority. It's invisible to the eye, but it's undeniable in presence. People will sense it. You'll enter rooms and conversations will pause. You'll speak softly, but it will land loudly, not because you seek attention, but because truth carries weight. And your voice now carries truth. This next season of your life will feel unfamiliar. That's good. That means you're walking paths you've never walked before. Old routines may feel boring. Old relationships may lose their meaning. You're not broken. You're growing. And everything you lost before tonight, you'll begin to understand why. It wasn't rejection. It was protection. You couldn't carry this new energy while still holding on to what tried to delay it. Let it go with grace. Let it go with silence, no revenge, no bitterness, just understanding. You are now above the games. People who once doubted you will try to return, but not everyone gets a second invitation. Be wise. You're no longer operating from emotion. You're led by discernment. Trust it. And don't be surprised when new opportunities arrive quickly. They will. You'll be offered things that match your vibration, new jobs, divine connections, safe spaces. Creativity will bloom. Prosperity will unlock, because the energy that blocked those blessings has now evaporated. Archangel Michael says, mark this date. Tonight will become your spiritual birthday. From this night forward, your protection increases. Your insight sharpens, and your journey accelerates. This was never about punishment. It was about preparation. And you were ready. You are the gate now, and nothing passes through without your permission. No voice overrides your knowing. No presence enters unless it aligns with truth. From here on, speak less, observe more, walk with clarity, stand in stillness, glow in silence. The presence that once hovered is gone. The permission you never gave protected you. And the sleep you now enter is your reward, not your escape. When you wake, walk slowly. Notice how the air feels different. Notice how your body feels lighter. Notice how your thoughts move with peace instead of panic. This is the reward of endurance. Archangel Michael says, the heavens rejoice over what you did tonight. The forces of light celebrate in ways unseen. You didn't need applause. You needed humbling. And now you have it. Rest now, chosen one. You made it, and nothing will ever be the same again. Archangel Michael says, what's happening inside your body now is no longer fear, but integration. The energy you held back, the power you reclaimed, the authority you stepped into, it's settling into your bones. Your DNA remembers. Your spirit rejoices. Even if your outer world looks the same when you wake, your inner world will be completely realigned. You feel it. The decisions that once felt confusing will now appear simple. The people you once gave chances to will now be seen with absolute clarity. This gift of surviving the test, this night, was designed not only to reveal what lurked in your energy field, but to elevate you above it permanently. You didn't just resist the darkness. You forced it to acknowledge your light. You stood still in the face of manipulation and refused to blink. You passed without an audience. You triumphed without validation. And that's why the reward is so deep. This awakening will start subtly. You'll begin to feel more connected to time itself, aware of shifts before they happen. Your body will respond to energy before it enters the room. You'll walk into situations and immediately know what role you're meant to play or avoid entirely. You are no longer navigating life blindly. You are spirit-led now. Archangel Michael says those dreams that have repeated over and over, the house, the door, the stranger calling your name, will finally stop. They were never random. They were your soul trying to alert you to tonight. And now that you've lived through it, they've served their purpose. Your sleep going forward will be a portal of peace, and your waking life will begin to reflect that shift. Doors that refuse to open will now unlock without force. Answers you begged for will now appear with ease. Money that evaded you will begin to flow in directions that make no sense to others, but perfect sense to your spirit, because your path is no longer being blocked by hidden hands tonight severed the tie. Archangel Michael says, keep this transformation sacred. You do not need to prove it to anyone. You do not need to share the details to validate it. What happened tonight is stamped in your energy, and the people meant to know will feel it before you ever speak a word. You are entering a season of spiritual discernment. Watch what you eat. Watch what you say yes to. Watch who touches your hands, your space, your time. Not because of paranoia, but because your light is now magnetic, and both divine and deceptive forces will try to approach. You must use wisdom now, not emotion. Clarity, not confusion. Stillness, not reaction. You've been elevated from reactive living to revelation living, and that comes with quiet responsibilities. Archangel Michael says, your name was spoken tonight in places of light, celebrated, honored, not by crowds, but by forces of protection you've never met in this life. Ancestors, spirit guides, divine beings who stood close, shielding you through every second of this passage. They rejoice not because you're lucky, but because you're ready. There's a reason you weren't told what exactly was trying to come through tonight. Because you didn't need to know the name of the threat to defeat it. You only needed to trust the light inside you, and you did. That makes you unshakable now. People around you may sense something new. Some will be drawn to you with love. Others will feel exposed in your presence and distance themselves. Let it happen. These are not losses. They are realignments. You are being prepared for divine assignments. Not everyone will walk with you into the next phase, but those who do will be soul-aligned, purpose-driven, and spiritually clean. And if someone from your past returns with confusion, asking what happened to you, just smile. You don't owe an explanation. You owe yourself continuation. Archangel Michael says this night was your exit from the old and your entrance into the untouchable version of yourself. Walk with gentleness, but never with fear. Speak with kindness, but never from smallness. Rest when needed, but never fall asleep to your power again. The energy you stood against tonight will remember you. It will not return because now it knows your name is not just a name. It is a weapon of light. You are covered. You are chosen. You are transformed. And you have entered a rare category of the awakened. Take this message. Seal it in your heart. And when the time comes, pass the light on to someone else who needs it. But tonight, keep it sacred. Keep it silent. Keep it yours. The battle ended, but your destiny has only just begun. Archangel Michael says what's happening right now is what the spirit realm calls the settling of light. The battle has passed, but your spiritual body is still humming, absorbing codes, anchoring clarity, and recalibrating your timeline. This is why you may feel weightless one moment and heavy the next. That's your field sensing with its new protection layer. You have completed a rite of passage so few even recognize, let alone survive with such powerful awareness. You didn't scream, you didn't panic, you didn't run. You stood in the stillness like a mountain while shadows tried to sway you. And now, they've gone. You might hear one final whisper in the back of your mind, something that sounds like, "It's over." It may sound like your own voice, but it's not. It's your spirit finally speaking without interruption. It's your soul confirming what heaven already recorded. You completed the assignment. Archangel Michael says as you walk through your home now, every corner has changed. Even if the objects remain the same, the frequency is higher. The heaviness is gone. The old cords that once latched onto certain places, your bed, your favorite chair, the mirror in your hallway, have been severed. Let your home breathe. Open a window. Light something pure, not to invite, but to celebrate. Let this be your sacred exhale. And if you feel an urge to speak aloud, speak this. This home is holy. This body is sealed. This life is mine. You reclaimed something precious tonight, your original energy, the one you were born with before the world tried to mold it, mute it, or manipulate it. The next 7 days are a reflection phase. You may feel slightly disoriented at first, like you're floating between two worlds. That's because you are 1 foot still stepping out of the old, 1 foot stepping firmly into the divine current of your real timeline. During this phase, you may experience vivid dreams filled with colors, numbers, or ancient places, deep sleep followed by sharp awareness upon waking, emotional surges, especially gratitude or sudden joy, moments of knowing where answers drop into your mind without effort. These are signs of spiritual expansion. Don't resist them. Embrace them as evidence of your new alignment. Archangel Michael says, you'll start noticing patterns around you shifting. People who used to test you will lose interest. Arguments that used to trigger you will now seem pointless. That's because you're no longer at that level of vulnerability. You've risen. But remember, ascension requires maintenance. Now that you are elevated, protect that elevation. Here's how: speak less about your plans. Pray or meditate in silence before big decisions. Keep at least one corner of your home free from digital noise. Trust your first instinct. Always. You don't need to explain this shift to others. In fact, you shouldn't. Some people will try to minimize your growth because they haven't experienced their own. Smile gently. Wish them well. Walk on. Your light now speaks louder than your words ever could. Archangel Michael says, this level of awareness is rare, but you've proven you're ready for it. And so your soul gifts will begin to unfold. Some of you will find yourselves hearing whispers of truth when no one is around, seeing energy move through trees, walls, or even people, writing, painting, creating things that feel like they're coming through you, not from you, knowing what someone will say before they speak. Don't fear these gifts. These are reminders of your divine design. You are not strange. You are not cursed. You are awakened. Ignite the switch. Now your life becomes the evidence. You may find people from your past reaching out with strange timing. Old connections may try to return. Don't judge them, but don't let them back in just because they show up. Some return to see if the gate is still open. Your gate is not public anymore. It is sacred access only. And should you ever feel the pressure of old energies attempting to creep back in, remember what you survived. Remember what you faced. Remember the silence, the shadow, and the unseen thing you stood against without blinking. You've already defeated what others fear to name. You are not just a survivor. You are now a light holder, a protector of frequency, a gatekeeper of sacred truth. Archangel Michael says your journey forward will not be loud. It will be legendary in silence. Everything will move faster, cleaner, more accurately. What used to feel like resistance will now feel like redirection, because heaven doesn't just watch anymore. Now it walks with you. One final instruction before you rest tonight. As you lay down, place your hand on your chest. Feel your heart. It has seen realms your mind still cannot comprehend. And whisper, "Thank you. I listened. I remembered who I am." Because that's what this was always about. Not fear, not danger, but remembrance. You didn't just fall asleep. Tonight you just forgot you were chosen. But now you'll never forget again. The shift is complete. The night is sealed, and so is your victory. Before this story reaches its final moment, receive this: you did not arrive at Michael's divine shield by chance. You were led here at this exact hour because heaven had something to place in your hands. Through the link in the description and pinned comment, you can step into the Michael's Divine Shield community, a guarded, faith-filled sanctuary where divine protection is not a wish, but a promise standing on the Word. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate access to daily devotions, spiritual warfare tools, and divine insights the world will never hand you. Inside Michael's Divine Shield, you will find guidance for every decision, unwavering covering on our prayer wall, and rapid movement toward the destiny already written over your life. Do not let this moment pass. Your breakthrough is standing at the door. And if you want to carry this covering into your home, our guided e-books and Bibles are waiting in the pinned comment. Whether you join Michael's Divine Shield as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence shifts the atmosphere. Take the step. Your protection and your abundance are waiting.